The difference between an independent contractor and an employee in Okmulgee usually depends on control, independence, financial risk, tax treatment, and the actual working relationship between the business and the worker. A business cannot make someone an independent contractor simply by calling them one. The label in the contract does not control the result if the facts show the worker is an employee. The basic difference: an employee usually works under the direction and control of the employer. The employer may control the schedule, training, job duties, method of work, tools, supervision, workplace rules, and day-to-day performance. The employee is often paid by the hour, salary, or regular payroll and may be subject to tax withholding. An independent contractor usually operates a separate business or trade. The contractor is hired to achieve a result but often controls how the work is performed. Contractors may use their own tools, set their own methods, serve multiple customers, invoice for work, carry their own insurance, and accept the risk of profit or loss. Control is one of the most important questions. Control is often the starting point. If the business can control the final result, the details, and means of the work, that points toward employee status. Oklahoma's unemployment rules recognize a similar control-based analysis when distinguishing employees from independent contractors. For example, a worker who must follow a set schedule, use company tools, attend required training, follow detailed instructions, report to a supervisor, and work only for one company may look more like an employee. A worker who controls the method of work, supplies tools, decides how to complete the job, and offers similar services to others may look more like an independent contractor. A written contract helps, but it is not enough. A written independent contractor agreement can be useful, but it is not enough by itself. Courts, agencies, and tax authorities usually look at what actually happens in practice. If the contract says, independent contractor, but the business treats the worker like an employee, the classification may be challenged. The agreement should match reality. If the contractor truly controls the work, carries risk, invoices for services, provides tools, and works independently, the contract should reflect that. If the business controls the worker every day, the contract may not protect the business from misclassification problems. Taxes are handled differently. Employees are usually paid through payroll. The employer withholds income taxes and pays required payroll taxes, including Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment taxes. The IRS explains that employers generally must withhold income taxes and withhold and pay Social Security and Medicare taxes for employees. Independent contractors are usually responsible for their own taxes. A business may issue a Form 1099 NEC, but generally does not withhold the same payroll taxes from contractor payments. This tax difference is one reason businesses sometimes prefer contractor arrangements, but tax savings cannot justify an improper classification. Wage and overtime rules may apply to employees. Employees may be protected by minimum wage and overtime rules under federal wage and hour law. Independent contractors generally are not treated the same way under those rules. The Department of Labor focuses on the economic realities of the relationship when deciding whether a worker is economically dependent on the business or is in business for themselves. This can matter when a worker is paid a flat amount, works long hours, or is treated as a contractor even though they depend on one business for work and have little real independence. Workers' compensation and unemployment issues. Worker classification may also affect workers' compensation and unemployment benefits. Employees are commonly covered by workers' compensation and may be eligible for unemployment benefits if they lose their job and meet the requirements. Independent contractors usually do not receive the same coverage from the hiring business. Oklahoma employers who are subject to unemployment insurance requirements pay unemployment tax contributions. The Oklahoma Employment Security Commission explains that unemployment insurance tax contributions provide a safety net for workers and are required for covered employers. Independent contractors usually have more business risk. A true independent contractor often has the opportunity to make a profit or suffer a loss. The contractor may buy tools, pay helpers, carry insurance, advertise services, maintain a business entity, negotiate price, and serve multiple clients. If the job costs more than expected, the contractor may lose money. An employee usually does not face that same business risk. The employee may be paid for time worked regardless of whether the business made money on the job. Tools, equipment, and expenses matter. The person who provides tools, equipment, materials, and business expenses can help show the nature of the relationship. A contractor who brings specialized equipment, pays for supplies, maintains insurance, and controls the work process may look more independent. A worker who uses only company tools, company vehicles, company uniforms, company software, and company materials may look more like an employee, especially if the business also controls the worker's schedule and methods. Permanency of the relationship. A long-term, indefinite relationship can point toward employee status. A short-term project, temporary assignment, or defined scope of work can point toward independent contractor status. However, no single fact controls. Some employees are temporary. Some contractors work with the same customer for a long time. The overall relationship matters more than any one factor. The type of work matters. If the worker performs work that is central to the business's regular operations, that may support employee status, especially if the business controls the work closely. For example, a service business that hires people to perform that service daily may face more classification scrutiny. By contrast, a business that hires an outside professional for a separate project, such as a plumber, electrician, CPA, website designer, or specialized consultant, may have a stronger independent contractor relationship if the contractor truly operates independently. Common misclassification problems. Misclassification can happen when a business wants to avoid payroll taxes, overtime, unemployment insurance, workers' compensation premiums, or employee benefits. It can also happen by accident when a small business uses informal arrangements without reviewing the law. Common warning signs include requiring the contractor to work fixed hours, prohibiting work for others, providing all tools, paying like payroll, supervising the work closely, requiring detailed training, disciplining the worker like an employee, or using a contractor agreement that does not match actual practice. Why classification matters for Okmulgee businesses. For Okmulgee businesses, worker classification should be reviewed before hiring, not after a dispute begins. A classification problem can arise during a tax audit, unemployment claim, workers' compensation claim, wage claim, lawsuit, injury, contract dispute, or government investigation. The cost of getting it wrong may include back taxes, penalties, interest, unpaid overtime, workers' compensation exposure, unemployment tax liability, attorney fees, and damage to the business relationship. Talk to an Okmulgee business attorney to discuss your options.